Okay, Rukun's video on Sunday, the 6th of July 2025, just gone 4:23 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market recap, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Happy 4th of July to everybody who celebrated it. And apologies that this video is coming out late this weekend. We had friends over on Sunday because it's now Monday morning our time in Australia, and we spent the day with them, which was fantastic, but didn't get time to put out the video. But anyway, lots to talk about. The Emini continues to rip higher, and we've also got setups happening in a whole bunch of markets. So let's get to the charts. First of all, just to say, we are at the tail end of a seasonal trade. So this is the stock market seasonality article on the Emini-Watch website, and we talk about 5 important seasonal trades backed by fundamentals, and this one is the 4th of July trade. Strength from late June until after the 4th of July, driven by the bullish holiday spirit. Approximate dates 1st of July to the 8th of July. So come Tuesday that's going to run out of puff, but it's been behind some of the up move that we've had breaking to new highs. At the bottom of this article there's a calendar that you can import into Google Calendar and some other formats where you can track the seasonal trades and also the futures rollover dates. So it's handy to have. It's been one of the contributing factors to the strength that we've had in the stock market over the last week or so. But anyway, let us close that up and we will get to the Emini charts here. So we had a good week except for Friday. Thin trading on Friday, but we sold off pretty hard. Not ready for a turn yet, but you'll see on the tip bar charts a lot of profit taking into this high. But anyway, so here we go. Daily chart. We got up to 6,333 so far. We're above resistance on the low and the intermediate time frame on the daily chart here. We've got one little amateur bar plotted up here. That was low average trade size trading on Friday. That's why it's an amateur bar there. So backgrounds in red on this chart, still in an uptrend, but as we go to the tip bar charts, you'll see that things are starting to break down. 135-minute chart here, again above resistances on the intermediate, on the low, on the highest time frame here. No pullback to end of trends or anything like that going on. Yep, we had this breakaway activity here, and that is Friday's activity where we had reduced trade. And the market had two little amateur bars up there. Rambo patterns into those highs a couple of weeks ago, but nothing this week in terms of patterns there. In terms of momentum reads, yeah, pretty healthy, but nothing signaling on better momentum on 135-minute chart. Then we go to the 45-minute chart, and here we've overshot all of our resistances up here. Still bars in red, which means we're in an uptrend. But we've had some momentum patterns pop up. So we had exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Last weekend talked about the Rambo patterns and exhaustion buy being unstable, but we didn't really break down. I always look at the low of the amateur bar sequence here, and that was around here. We came close to it, we didn't break through it, we bounced from there. And then we've had blue professional bars, so the stop has been trailed up, and this looks like a little bit of an island reversal pattern here at the moment. Amateur bars at the end of the day there on the 45-minute chart. Put in another exhaustion buy, bearish divergence signal here on the 45-minute chart, so that's interesting. And then, yeah, we're above resistances on all these time frames. 15-minute chart, here we go. So over the last couple of weeks, we broke into an uptrend here. We had blue professional bars getting this move going, and then as we broke to those new highs, we had exhaustion patterns, bearish divergence at the end of last week, flush patterns, and the stop keeps on being trailed up and up and up into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's activity. We had Rambo patterns here, we've had a flush signal here, and momentum signals drop down. Here the important level is 6,224, but we're a little bit of a ways away from there at the moment, and cyclically we're putting in pullback to something going on here. Pullback, let's see, we've got this strength to play out on the 15-minute chart. We're running out of puff, but is it time to short it? No, not yet, because we go to the 13,500 tip bar chart and I'll show you what's going on. So here we've got the day and night activity, smooths everything out, so we don't have an island reversal here because we have the overnight activity going on. But you can see into these highs, and this is where I talk about the professionals legging in and legging out of moves, because they're moving big positions. They can't do it all at once at a high or at a low. They have to do it in sequence. And so they were taking profits here and here and here, and big pro bars as well. The background's in blue. on here. And we've got exhaustion buy patterns at the beginning of the week here. Nice little blue sequence there, but we do not break the trailing stop. Trailing stop trails up and up and up, and then that's the Wednesday, Thursday's activity to new highs. Blue professional bars and new highs, whole family of little blue boxes there showing that those are professionals at new highs. We have the same thing on the reverse on new lows, but it shows the professionals are active doing something, taking profits. So watch out, the background's in blue, so big pro bars happening there. And then we have the break on Friday. So the trailing stop gets broken. All of a sudden we're underneath this, and the momentum reads a negative. We're selling at that point. But it's been a nice little sequence down here from 6,000 up to 6,003. And the reason why I think it's a little bit too early to start shorting this is because we haven't played out these cyclical patterns on the 13,500 tip bar chart. So we had two little sequences of pullback to end of trends on the low and the intermediate play out. The first one here and here, market was so strong we kept on going. We played out another little sequence here, pullback end of trend on those two time frames. So that energy has played itself out on those two time frames, but we still have to put in pullback to end of trend on the highest time frame here. These lines have to come down to negative 100 cross and then push back up, and somewhere between where we are and the 6,132 level will put in some support that will push up from. Now, whether that puts in a pullback to end of trend on that highest time frame, I don't know, but there'll be some temporary support coming that'll be important. So a little bit early to get into a reversal trade, a swing trade. There'll obviously be lower time frame trades to be had, but that's what I'll be looking for this week, is that pullback to end of trend sequence on the highest time frame on 13,500 to see where that goes and whether that support level gets broken. But this was important with this week's activity. Blow off, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, flush patterns up here. We're starting to roll over on this time frame. So there we go. Those are the E-mini charts. Let us roll through the Forex charts first, and this is the euro. The euro broke into a nice uptrend 2 weeks ago here. Background's in red, and we've had two sequences of professionals taking profits here and here. Big pro bars as well, which is good. We got a signal this week breaking short. This was on the non-farm payroll numbers that came in hot, which gave strength to the USD and weakness in the other currencies, and we've sold off. We've come back under the lip, and yeah, we've got a little bit of a squeeze pattern under the lip here at the moment. Blue professional bars into those highs, so technically we're in downtrend, but on the cyclical patterns we've still got a little bit of time to run. So here we go. This is the uptrend that we broke into on the euro, above resistance on the highest time frame, and we're just putting in support to resistance on that highest time frame. So it's a pullback to end of trend there. So once that energy has played itself out, then let's see if we get a continuation of the downtrend in the euro. British pound, similar thing. This is the pullback to end of trend sequence. There we broke into an uptrend above resistance on the highest time frame over the last couple of weeks, and we've got supports coming here, and we're just pushing out that energy, testing into those highs. And same thing with the British pound. The signal was at the end of last week. Blue professional bars at the highs, big pro bars here. Not exhaustion buy at that point. We've had them coming in here on this little dip. Let's see if this 37.2 level holds, or do we push above that, freak everybody out, generate an exhaustion buy signal, and then roll from there. We'll wait and see. Aussie's still playing out that energy too, a pullback to end of trend here, but it's weaker than the euro chart, and here we've started to roll over. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, blue professional bars, but we came back up to break through those highs at 66, and blue professional bars have come in at the lows here and bounced. So let's see if we get a break back above those blue professional bars. Were they buying that dip temporarily? Because we didn't really have blue professional bars at the highs here on that sequence. So the Aussie dollar looking a little bit different than the other charts. And here's Japanese yen. It just broke down at that point, never made pullback to end of trend. We just sliced through there. And in terms of the signals, we got a reversal signal on that non-farm payroll news there, and a stair-step trade happening at the moment. So they took profits at these highs, no exhaustion buy patterns into there, which is a shame, but then getting ready for that move. We drop, come back up, blue professional bars step in on the stair-step trade down. So let's see if that just continues down on the Japanese yen. And then 10 years, this is what happened on 10 years, because again, those were the strong numbers that came out on employment. So this is more a classic, all three indicators coming together. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, that's the momentum signal. The blue professional bars at the highs, the background's in blue, so super high average trade size, a lot of activity happening there. We break the trailing stop, the background turns into grey, so it means we're in a downtrend in terms of price and volume, and we got our signal short. This is exhaustion buy under the lip, which I like for a signal in, and then here we go, we break pretty hard. So the 10 years are going down because interest rates are expected to stay high because the economy is running hot and the employment numbers came out strong. So that's why the bonds are selling off and the equities are taking their time. So that was a good signal. Long 3 weeks ago down here, almost the reverse. No big pro bars down here at these lows, but we had exhaustion sell and bullish divergence. So we had a lot of things going for that trade. Kept on going, and then it's reversed and gone the other way. So that's the 10-year. Gold. Now gold I like at the moment because we had a nice signal this week. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, flush patterns here, so a nice momentum rolling around here. Blue professional bars come in, they spike down, and then immediately reverse back. We get a signal long. And look at this at the end of last week's activity. Blue professional bars coming into the lows. They did not take profits here at the highs. We ran out of puff with Rambo pattern here. And we got stair-step trades going on all over the show here, and big pro bars happening there. So I like gold at the moment. Let's see if that continues to rally. Silver's also doing quite well at the moment. The background's in red, so we're in an uptrend. But no signal down here at the lows. We had an exhaustion sell down here, so we've moved off there. But this was significant activity at 37. We weakened from there, and we've just bounced up. So it's interesting. It's not as pretty a pattern as gold at the moment. And Bitcoin's had a nice run over the last 2 weeks. So we bottomed down here at 98. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, blue professional bars come in here. We get our signal long. And now we've had a little bit of the reverse. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, blue professional bars, big pro bars, the background's in blue. We've broken the trailing stop. We're coming back up at the moment in the weekend activity. We've got some cyclical energy to play out. Not really, because we've got resistance on the highest time frame come in there. A break of that 107,900 number is going to be key. So let's see if we get some weakness in Bitcoin this week. Then Crude's disappointing down here. We had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence and flush, but not a lot of blue professional bars down here. I suppose big pro bars, a little bit, and then it's done nothing from 64 to 66, broken into an uptrend. Got ourselves a signal there. Exhaustion buy, maybe getting the move going, but we've weakened from there. But we need to get above 67.5 for this to be breaking into a proper uptrend. It's got a little bit of resistance to support energy to play out. So yeah, I'm surprised we didn't just see more blue professional bars at those lows at 64. Anyway, natural gas. We had a signal last week, ran into Rambo patterns. We weakened from there. We come back down again. Not a lot of blue professional bars down here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, bit of no man's land. So not yet interested in a change in trend there. Copper, we had a nice signal a couple of weeks ago. Then we had a short signal at the end of the last week, but we powered on. We kept on going. We didn't have an exhaustion buy at that point, but we had more big pro bars coming here at the end of last week, and we weakened from there. So that's not a classic stair-step trade, because we like to see the blue professional bars coming on the retrace here rather than at the low. So maybe copper's still got some life in it. So this is resistance on the highest time frame, broke into an uptrend. We've still got to pull back to end of trend on the highest time frame there on copper, so maybe not ready for a reversal trade. Corn looks very nice down here. So a lot of activity 2 weeks ago. We sold off, exhaustion sold, bullish divergence, flush, big pro bars come in, and we get going on the upside exhaustion buy, getting the move going. So corn's looking good. Soybeans also looking good. There we had the big pro bars, whole bunch of activity there. Bottoms, we test that bottom, freak everybody out with an exhaustion sell. Professionals step in, we get a signal long, and that's an uptrend on soybeans. And lastly, wheat. Wheat, a little bit of the reverse. So we topped out here, signal short. We got into Rambo patterns. We bounced from there. But this is where the blue professional bars stepped in. They didn't step in on the lows to buy this thing. They stepped in on the retrace to short it. So exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Blue professional bars up here. We got a signal short on wheat. So wheat is looking weaker. So there we go, a rip around the charts. Try and get this out as soon as possible. The market's going to open up in about 15-20 minutes or so. Do hope your trading is going well. Hope you had a relaxing weekend. And yep, we're back to it. So let's see what happens to equities, gold, Bitcoin this week, crude. Interesting things happening. So I hope you trade it well.